Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Many Nigerians were shocked when the federal government decided to respond to the very many questions going on social media over the appearance of the former president of Nigeria, talking about the person of Muhammadu Buhari in international court. We're going to find out the full details and why, as the presidency, have spoken concerning his appearance in this court. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Well, according to the news, the Nigerian presidency has reacted to a report alleging that the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, was summoned to a Paris court. Presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga, in a statement released a few hours ago while confirming a private proceeding, clarified that President Bola Tinubu did not force any eminent Nigerian to testify for or against the country. Now, according to earlier report, Buhari was said to have testified in arbitration proceeding over a federal power contract dispute. The report claimed that Buhari was hauled before the court on Saturday for allegedly breaching the terms of a power generation and distribution contract awarded to Sunrise Power and Transmission Company of Nigeria by former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo in 2003. Now, this $6 billion, I repeat again, $6 billion, B, not M-O-B, has been ongoing for over 20 years with its main actor, Leno Adesanya, facing anti-graft investigations, including allegations of bribing a former minister to secure the contract. Buhari was reportedly grilled for hours on Saturday and was expected to continue his testimony today before the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris. Now, the report further alleged that a top administration official revealed that Buhari was initially very reluctant to give testimony, but was compelled to appear after Attorney General Lateef Fagbemi visited him at his residence in Daura. However, Onanuga stated that the arbitration proceeding is confidential and that all eminent Nigerians involved in Nigeria's defense are participating willingly. Now, the statement said, and I quote him word for word, "The attention of the presidency has been drawn to some fake news on social media about an arbitration proceeding in Paris to which the Nigerian government private proceeding, which should not have been reported in the media, is entirely confidential until international arbitrators decide. While respecting the confidentiality of the proceeding, we wish to state categorically that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not forced anyone to testify for or to refrain from testifying against Nigeria. All the eminent Nigerians involved in Nigeria's defense are doing so willingly and out of sheer patriotism and conviction. President Tinubu and the entire country are grateful to them." Quite a lot of things are going on behind the scene, and it's quite amazing because most Nigerians did not know about this. Now, but very quickly, one would, easily say that it's a case of so many corruption that has gone international. What I'm trying to say in effect is, during the power tussle, I could say power generation period, I could still remember way back then, after the tenure of the former president of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, a lot of rumors were flying from back and center, and that some of the persons and some of the people, officials that were, employed in that at that time, some of them were now moving around, according to the news that was flying all around. Though there was no concrete evidence, moving around, they were now working Instead of working for, they're working in synergy just to see how they can, get some kickbacks for themselves. But as time went by, more successive governments came in, but some of those things were not addressed. And at some point, the whole matter was dragged to this particular court. And, some of these documents are way back. You know how this thing works. If you've ever worked in a parastatal or a company before, sometimes you're employed, and you're sitting on a seat that had been existing long before you came into that company or organization for like maybe 20 years, 15 years, and you are just meant to produce a document that you didn't sign. You were not there. You were not even under in the employment of that company or that organization when the whole saga started. But it's assumed that as of that process, when that whole thing began, there were documentations. It was properly documented, and it is onus is on you as the one sitting in that office to begin to get those documents. So they begin to tell you things like, "Can you get this file of so and so and so here?" And and it's needed as evidence, and you now begin to know. Yes, it's obvious that you were not there when the whole thing began. But the truth is, you occupied the seat as at when investigation was taking place. So it's on you now. Not that they will probably put it on you, but it's on you now to get those documents. And unfortunately, if it's a case of your company is involved, at some point they may even say you should represent. And so it's now left for you now to begin to look into those documents, have a fair knowledge of what is going on. Okay, you can't just be tabula rasa. And that's the beauty about governance. It's like a betting. It's like a relay race. When the athlete involved finishes his own tenure, he hands the baton to you. You don't begin to say, continue the race. And whatever you can get, run as fast as you can, achieve as much as you can. So fortunately or unfortunately, former president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, was also a president. He started on that seat, and I guess at some point in his tenure, one or two things must have come up, because there's something I noticed over time with our governance. I noticed that our presidents, for whatever reason, which is why Nanuga had to say that it's supposed to be a private proceeding. He didn't even know how it got to the media. But one thing I've noticed over time that there's this very nice preferential treatment they give to all our presidents, both past and present, whatever it is. I could still remember when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan finished off. He had a meeting, a secret meeting, or a private meeting, not secret, a private meeting in the villa with the former president of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari. After, he handed power, I think some few months or probably a year or so after he handed power to Muhammad Buhari, they had a closed-door meeting where they discussed. I'm sure at some point in time, the former president must have said some certain things, and he wanted clarification, and it has nothing to do with the media. They were like, okay, this is coming up, and each time they say, okay, there was this, this. How did you handle it, or what did you do, or how come, just this mutual respect they have for one another. It's just unfortunately that for that of Rivers State, there seem not to be such synergy. Instead, what we're getting there is a case of okay, but I still notice also, unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, that despite all of the outcry and noise going on in Rivers State, there have really never been any situation where the sitting governor Fubara had pointed any accusing finger directly to Nyesom Wike. No, he hadn't. He didn't. And even though whatever side talk you're hearing are mostly from supporters who are saying, okay, Wike did this, but he has never for once said that Wike did this against the government of the day. But you just, normal. Somebody will say normal side talks. So I feel that at this rate, there's quite a lot. And at this rate, our former president, Muhammad Buhari, actually went there to defend the country. And to that, I will say thank you. That's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Have a nice time. God bless.